Welcome to Aging Gracefully and Strong. I'm Dr. Melinda Silva at the IQ Podcast Studio. I have a special guest with me today. Her name is Mia Bertelson, and today we're going to talk about being stronger than ever. Actually, it's my fitness journey.
Thank you, Dr. Silva. I'm so glad to be here and have a chance to ask you some questions about your important journey. And I wanted to start off with the first question is how did this all start? How did you decide to take this step forward to improve your fitness?
Well, COVID really did a number on my body. And I had the COVID 10, then the quarantine 15 that we're all familiar with. And during that process of COVID, with all the despair, I was also going through a really hard time in my life because I lost my father during that time. And I was in my heart had a void that I had never felt before. And that sadness was a sadness that I hadn't experienced. It was a really deep sadness. And the slump that I felt, I just wasn't motivated to do anything. So it just even made me gain more weight, right? I just got softer and I wasn't myself. And my energy went down. And then a good friend of mine who was a trainer, he said to me, why don't you focus on something physical, something that you can train and work for so that you're not in such despair? And I thought to myself, okay, maybe I'll give that give that a shot. And it really worked. It helped me to not think about the sadness in my heart. I mean, I still felt sad, but it kind of took that edge away because I had something else to think about. And so that's how my journey began, trying to get myself out of the depression that I felt and the despair that was in my heart.
So once you decided that the fitness journey was the right solution for you, what were some of your greatest challenges? Because we know as women, it's hard to be consistent day after day to stay true to your goals. How did you do it?
Well, it was really hard for me because I'm working full time, right? I'm an anti-aging fitness. Um, I'm a physician already who focuses on health and well-being, and so I still had my job, and my four kids were home. Luckily, I got to see them. That was the one of the bright spots about COVID,
Mhm.
right? All my children were home, and we had family dinners. It was just having to be consistent with the workout, which was really hard. Waking up before 6 a.m. because that's what I had to do so that I could still have my work day. I had to wake up consistently, and that was really challenging. So my workout buddy said, "Let's have a goal to work for," and that's why I ended up doing this fitness challenge. I ended up doing a fitness competition because it was easier for me to have a goal to work for, right? I mean, there was no way I was just going to get up just to get up to exercise. So I had this goal that I wanted to lose a certain amount of body fat and be um, in a certain shape. And that's what kept me on track. And also, when you have somebody that you're working out with, it's much easier to let yourself down, but it's a lot harder to let someone else down that's depending on you, right? So I knew that my trainer was going to be there. So I didn't want to let him down because he was sacrificing, he was getting up for me. So I know I needed to get up. And then sometimes I would feel the spirit of my father. My family nickname is Baby. And sometimes when I didn't want to get up, I could feel him like nudging me and poking me. And he would say, "Come on, baby, you can do this, you can get up." And so I realized that it wasn't just about me, it was about other people. And that's what was one of my motivations. And that helped me through the challenge of not wanting to exercise because because it's hard. It's hard to do something consistently, right? And work for it. So that's how I was able to go, to overcome that challenge.
And as you got stronger and stronger, you found that your emotional state was getting better. How is that related?
Well, when you do exercise, an amazing thing happens to your body, right? You have these chemicals and the neurotransmitters that go off in your brain, like dopamine and serotonin. And these endorphins, that we call them, actually can elevate your mood. There was a study that came out of Harvard that showed that if you run for 15 minutes or if you walk for an hour, it can decrease the rate of depression by 26%.
Wow.
I mean, that's very powerful. And we've known for a long time how exercise can elevate your mood and can help you with just your overall sense of well-being. So there's a lot of that kind of emotional benefits to exercise besides, the physical benefits. Exercise can reduce blood pressure, right? It can help you with reducing diabetes because it reduces your waist size. Things that keep your body stronger, having more lean muscle mass, will just help with not only physical health benefits, but more importantly, with mental health benefits. I've been so impressed with how exercise can actually reduce anxiety, and it
Yes.
can also reduce PTSD. So I think that, and it's very interesting with the research with PTSD or stress, when you're doing what we call cross motion exercise, like, moving your arms or crossing your legs. So running or skiing or rollerblading or something like that, that's better with decreasing the PTSD. And so I think it's really important to understand that when you have these, these other benefits that you're working for, it makes it also easier to have, to do that, to say, I'm going to go exercise. And some people get intimidated about exercising because they feel like they don't have a half an hour or an hour during the day. And I tell people, just pick an activity that you enjoy. It could be gardening. It could be throwing a frisbee to your dog. It could be, taking out the trash, sweeping, just other activities around the house that keep you active, but also things that you can enjoy. Like dancing is one of my favorite activities. And you don't even have to go anywhere. You could just turn on, your music
Yeah.
and just move. And you don't have to make a commitment to a 20-minute class or 30-minute class. You could say, you know what? I'm going to dance to my favorite song, right? Just moving and getting active and getting the circulation going. That's what it means. And all of that is cumulative. So I tell people, when you go to the store or you have to run an errand, park as far as you can, because that might be
Yeah.
the only chance of exercise that day. Take the stairs instead of taking the elevator. Just, it's more of a lifestyle. And I think that that's really important. And one thing that I forgot to mention when we're talking about challenges, is that I have a terrible sweet tooth. And I will tell you that diet was really the most important thing that helped to reduce uh, my waist and keep my abdomen flat. I couldn't believe how much taking sugar out of my diet and the processed food had in just decreasing bloating and making my abdomen flat. And, my friends tease me because they know that I've been known to say that I never met a cookie I didn't like
Me too.
because I really like cookies. And because my fitness competition forced me to be in a bikini, right? My fear of walking in a bikini was greater than my desire to eat that cookie. And I say that with all sincerity. I knew that if I was going to do this competition that I was going to go all the way. So for me, oh yeah, here I'll show you. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I actually ended up. Are you able to see this? I actually ended up winning the competition.
Yay.
Yes. And December the 7th, it was in Vegas. It was six titles that I had won. I wasn't expecting to win any of the titles, really. So to win six of them was an extraordinary accomplishment for me. And being 57 years old, I mean, who starts bodybuilding at 57, right? So I realized if I could start bodybuilding at 57, what could you do, right? What could I help my patients do? So it was very inspiring for me to be able to accomplish this and even be more of an inspiration for my patients.
And in the competition, you mentioned that you were really proud that you
Mhm.
made connections with the other contestants and you really made them feel the beauty that they had not only outside but inside. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, people will do these competitions for different reasons. And for me, I really wanted to do the competition because it was a concrete goal that I had set for myself. And I knew that I was in competition with myself and I wasn't in competition with anyone else. And I could sense in the room there was a lot of stress and tension because people are there and they want to win and they feel nervous and they feel anxious. And I could tell that some of the women didn't have the self confidence or the self esteem. And it was surprising to me because everybody was gorgeous, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
everybody looked so good and they were just strong and fit and they earned the right to be there. But I could
Mhm.
tell that emotionally, they just didn't feel like as confident as I thought that they should for, having the rockin' body that they had, right? So I actually made a point to compliment the the women and just share with them the beauty that I saw, which was sincere. I would tell them, wow, you have gorgeous eyes, or that's like this, your bathing suit is so beautiful, or just compliment them. Even the guys, there were gentlemen there,
Mhm.
and you think, wow, they look so good that they must feel so confident, but some of them don't. That was really surprising to me. So I really wanted to change the energy of the room because really I wanted everyone to understand that they earned the right to be there. You're there because you deserve to be there. And for me, I didn't feel intimidated because I was really in competition with myself. And I knew that I had already won because I completed the task and the goals that I wanted to complete. And it wasn't really my goal to win. It was just really my goal to be my best. And for me to win was just like icing on the cake, so to speak, right?
Absolutely. And you mentioned that, of course, exercise and diet are huge, huge. But there's another portion too, since you're an expert in bioidentical hormones. Talk to us about how that helped you as well.
Oh my goodness, that's so important because when I was about 47 years old, my body started to change. I mean, I started to get soft around the middle, my hair started to fall out, and I didn't have as much energy and motivation, and my mood changed. And all of these changes were physiologic, and I knew it was because my hormones were changing. As we got older, our hormones start falling. And when I went to see my doctor, they wanted to put me on birth control pills and Prozac. And I realized
No,
that's
no, no.
exactly what I did not want to do. So I looked outside of mainstream medicine to figure out what would be an alternative choice for me. And that's when I found the bioidentical hormones. And they're plant based hormones that are made to look identical to the hormones that your body makes. So for me, that holistic approach was important. And that's what I started to do. And I noticed that when I did the bioidentical hormones, I started to get my body back. I started to have a smaller waist. I started to have more energy. My moods were better, and I was starting to feel like myself again. And so in my job, I help people to lose weight and get their optimal health because losing weight is a game changer for everyone. It makes everyone feel better when you're
Absolutely.
healthier. But I always come from a place of health because when you're healthier, you're always going to feel better and you're always going to look better. So for me, that's my main focus coming from a place of health. And for me, when I was able to get my body back and get my mind back and feel like myself again, that's when I left mainstream medicine and I started to do what I do, which is focus on the bioidentical hormones. During my fitness journey, the bioidentical hormones were crucial in helping me not only to lose weight easier, but also to keep the weight off. Because I tell my patients, when you start having hormonal changes and your hormones fluctuate, your weight fluctuates as well. I just tell women, just think about when you have your period. Is it easier or harder to gain weight? Right? A lot of women, right?
It's very difficult. So now that you have these titles under your
Mm.
belt, that you're a fitness competition winner, congratulations.
Yes.
What are your future plans? Will you compete again?
Well, I think that I will probably do it once a year just so that I can keep my body in shape. And it's because it's really hard, I don't eat everything that my family eats. And I just feel like, you know, it's it's not I'm not as fun going out with my husband. He says, "Wow, we want to enjoy food. We celebrate life with food, right?"
Mhm.
So when I'm doing my fitness competition, I'm really strict with my diet for 2 months. I mean, for me, I had to work hard for 2 months to get my body to where I wanted to get it at. But I didn't go crazy. I just, I just wanted to make sure I reached my goals. But that's not something that I would do all year long, obviously. I mean, since the competition, I'm eating regular food now. I tell people I eat whatever I want, but I just eat a little bit of it, right?
Yes.
And I don't have to have chocolate and something sweet every day like I used to. I used to crave something sweet every day, in the afternoon or after dinner. And now I just probably it's about a few times a week. So I probably gained about 4 pounds from my competition, which is fine. If for me, I'm at a good place. So for me, it's about maintenance. So that means just eating generally healthy. So what that means is having a whole food diet. So my diet is mainly vegetables, lean meat, and I use fruit for my simple sugar and snack. And you could find a very creative ways to have like a nice dessert. I mean, one of my favorite things to do is to cut up an apple and put it in cinnamon
Yum.
and just you could bake it and
Yes.
microwave it and it tastes like an apple pie, but you don't have the crust, but that's okay. You know what I mean? You can still have your cravings, satisfied with modification. And that's what it's about. Because right now, my maintenance is going to be with modification of my diet and regular exercise. I don't train every day right now either, but I try to do something active, like I said earlier, for about 15 minutes. So my favorite thing to do is ride my Peloton bike for about 15 minutes a day. And that's very doable, right? Or I'll do yoga. I love doing yoga. And if I'm lucky, I get to do 30 minutes, but sometimes it's only going to be a 15-minute stretch in the morning. So for me, I just incorporated the exercise routine as part of my lifestyle. And that's what I recommend my patients to do. Just find something that you enjoy and then be consistent with it. And just realize that what you do during the day is cumulative. That activity that you do, like for example, when I'm working in the office, sometimes I'll just walk outside and walk around the building, you know, once or twice. So I have like 5 minutes of being outside, enjoying fresh air, and just unwinding. You know,
It's all so inspiring, Dr.
yeah,
Silva. Thank you so much for sharing. And to end it,
yes,
I just wanted to comment. I see you have a little Band-Aid on your arm. Tell
yeah.
us about that. That's kind of exciting.
Well, I had the COVID vaccine the other day, and I'm happy to say I didn't have any side effects, didn't have any problems, just soreness at the site of the injection. And that was it. So I'm very happy that I was able to get, protected. And I feel good that we're gonna hopefully be able to open up and get people protected so we can get back into some normalcy, into our lives. So, but I thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really hope, that the viewers can really see the importance of having physical exercise in your life and seeing the mental health benefits, because that's what's important to take from this today, right? You don't have to be a fitness competitor. You just have to be active, and whatever that means for you, dancing, you're taking your dog for a walk, just doing something that makes you feel good. Maybe it's gardening, whatever it is, but just be active. And be creative with your diet. If you strive to eat healthier, look at different ways that you can incorporate more vegetables and especially water in your diet. For me, I
Mhm.
forgot to mention drinking plenty of water is essential, because it just helps just get rid of toxins in your body, because you need to flush it out. And so I tell people, don't get intimidated by starting a exercise routine or a healthy eating routine. Just making a simple, easy change can make a huge difference in your life. But the key is that you have to be consistent.
Mhm.
They say it takes 3 weeks of doing something consistently, and that will change and make it a habit. So for me, being consistent without sugar for 4 weeks straight changed my cravings. And it really changed it forever. And so I am living proof that you could do this.
Wonderful.
If you need any help, contact me, drmelindasilva.com. It's easy to reach me. I have an office in East Lake and Chula Vista. And I just think it's just wonderful for me to be able to address you guys. And that's the end of our show today. I just want to say thank you for listening in. And I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors, Attorney King, Sequan Casino Resort, Indian Motorcycles of San Diego, The Gym, Serrano's Coronado, and IB Fitness. Take care.
Thank you.